I got a lot of questions for Katie.
Okay.
And Craig.
Yeah. All they wanted was a little getaway. All they got was nothing but trouble. Welcome to I Hope You Suffer.
It's a bad tagline.
I
Yeah,
agree.
doesn't
Bad
even make
tagline
sense.
for a hot take for this episode. A bad movie.
Wow, how dare. I'm going to be honest, y'all. I lost track of time and completely forgot to watch it. But
Okay.
God, I wish I didn't
watched
watch
it like I've watched it like 200 times over the course of my life, and I feel like it's buried in there. There are core memories that are going to
Yeah.
unlock as we
I
go
got-
through this.
I
remember
knew
Mr.
you would
Bone
have my
Stripper and Dan Aykroyd's Dick Nose, and I think that's all you need to know, really.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Boner Stripper.
No, it says Bones Ripper, but
Oh.
it's pronounced Bone Stripper.
I wrote.
Yeah,
I called it
Mr.
Boner Stripper.
Mr. Boner Stripper.
Honestly, that would have
That's a
been better.
different
I
movie.
thought it said. Yikes.
This is episode 392. If I Be Suffer. I don't know. I'm Bobo, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm Mike.
I guess I have
That's
to
a
be
guy.
Lil
That's a
Debo.
guy in there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Debo.
we're gonna talk about Katie's pick for a good movie, 1991's Nothing But Trouble, with our guest, Tupac Shakur.
Hell yeah.
They call him the Tupac Shakur of Florida, Shayne
That's
Mathis.
What's up, losers?
I should have gone with Fausto. I forgot Taylor Negron is
Yeah.
Fausto in this.
Fucking, you should have been Ronaldo Squarenzizo. God. Okay, so Katie, do you stand by this pick as a good movie?
This is the most upset Nathan has ever been out of the gate at a movie.
I was so upset having to rewatch this. I
All
know
right,
we
all
would
right.
have done it at some point, but I was like, just this week alone, I was like, I do not want to watch this shit.
Okay, let me give you the backstory as to why this happened. So I remember,
like it's an accident.
well,
A nuclear
was.
spill.
I have a storied past with Nothing But Trouble. Which is that okay? So the movie
Katie's
came
Dan
out.
Aykroyd.
Yeah, I've been keeping it secret.
This
entire
happened.
time.
This happened to her
Yeah,
a few years ago.
in one of my astral lives. This is what happened. So this movie came out in 1991. And I was 4 at the time. So by the time that this movie was like running on TV, probably like TBS or TNT or somebody, they would like air the movie. And of course, I watched it just like on TV when I was like definitely too young to be watching this movie. And I remember liking it, but being like scared. And like watching it as an adult, there's absolutely no way I knew what was going on. But I think that like the contraptions and like the prosthetics and stuff, for some reason I found it funny. But and so
Can I just say that I think all a movie needs are contraptions and prosthetics.
I mean, honestly,
5
though,
stars. Easy 5 stars every time.
I think that's actually so true. And so I grew up a little bit and I had this like deep memory of this movie, like specifically the scene where once the Reeve or the judge or whatever like drops them down into that pit of like dirty rubber ducky toys or whatever. I remember that, and then I remember the twins. And for the longest time I had this like deep core memory of watching this movie, and I couldn't figure out what the movie was because like I didn't know who Chevy Chase was. I didn't know enough about like who people were at the time that I saw it. I was probably like 7 or 8 or something, right? That like I just always thought about this, trying to find this movie. And then when I lived in Richmond, so that was like 10 years ago at this point, I just literally stumbled upon it and I was like, oh my God, this is the movie I've been looking for since my childhood. And so I rewatched it then. I rewatched it for this actually. And so it had been kind of like a while since I rewatched it. And I hate to tell you, but I stand by it.
Oh man, I don't like this is the thing about this movie for me is like visually I'm on board. Like
Mhm.
the set design is great. Dean Cundy's like cinematography is good. I fucking can't stand Dan Aykroyd.
Oh.
So that already, and then like Chevy Chase is just a fucking dickhead. I don't like him either. It's except for like in Memoirs of an Invisible Man. That's just because you don't see him for half of it.
That's the Chevy Chase movie you like, is Memoirs of the Invisible Man.
I don't even know if I'm not even going to back up saying that's a good movie. It's just it's John Carpenter, so I'm on board.
This is rapid fire, your most insane takes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I think I don't know. Like I am on board with this movie sometimes, but just like this week I was like, I hate this. I don't want to watch this.
Sure.
It just was like like it's just one of those ones where like it's so unpleasant that like if you're not in the mood for it, it just like is just upsetting and bad. So that's where I was at this week with it.
I get that. I think for me, like as an adult, I think unfortunately Chevy Chase is like one of those people that's kind of like Tim Allen, where they're like so ingrained in a lot of my like childhood favorite movies that it is hard for me to like as an adult watch him and not just be filled with rage. But I don't know. I think that this movie is like,
Oh, I take it back. Dirty Work. That's a good Chevy Chase movie.
okay.
He's in that for like 30 seconds.
Yes, it's fine, but it's funny because every time he's got more broken bones because he's getting beat up by his bookies.
So yeah, I don't know. I still stand by this. I think I still enjoyed watching it, and but I do think it's like
I will
think
also say I skipped the Tubi version and found some upload of it on YouTube that to get around copyright strikes, they dubbed in their own music over like the Digital Underground scenes.
perfect.
And it was insane because I was watching it and I was like, what the fuck song is this? And I was like,
I love that.
I love art.
You know, kind of made it a little better, but I know this Shayne is a passionate fan of this movie.
Good. I knew other people would have my back on this.
Yeah,
no, a lot of people do. I genuinely think if we had done this like prior to like fucking this year, I would have probably been like way more on board with it. Sure. I was just more baffled that like this was a pick as a good movie because this is a real regular episode I Hope You Suffer thing.
I think it's, to me, I will let somebody else speak in a second. I will warn you guys that I have a margarita, so.
Well, I got a dirty Mountain Dew, and it's gross. That's the end of my soda talk.
Did you? Okay. That's too bad.
So we talked about soda for like 25 minutes before the episode, and I was like, I can't wait. I'm drinking this now. And it's, I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever had, but it's also not great. It's like they were like, I forget who said it. I think it was Shayne. Maybe it was Katie that was just like, said it just kind of tasted like a sweeter Mountain Dew or sweeter cream soda, and that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, the idea of that is weird to me because like dirty sodas are intrinsically like usually dark sodas with cream added for people who don't drink coffee, right? So like I don't understand why you would do that to a soda that's like a sweet green
Should just
soda.
put like vodka in it or something.
Yeah,
anyway,
or dirt.
Katie's gonna be drunk by the end of this episode.
Well, joke's on you.
Already.
I think
surprise.
I don't know. Obviously, since I was very young when this like originally came out, I don't know anything about like what happened around it, what the press was around it. But for me, like typically when I see, like obviously there are some outliers, but typically when I see a cast like this, like specifically Chevy Chase is usually in very normal straight arrow stuff, where like
is he?
yeah, like I feel like like Christmas Vacation. Obviously I can't. I just can't. But I feel like how weird this movie gets, like how like it's just like bonkers out of nowhere and also for no reason. Like the entire point of this movie kind of is that like this family hates bankers because of something that happened in like ye old times. And so I'm like, where did the contraptions come from? Why do the twins look like that? Like, I just feel like this movie could have been just a straight normal, like, the plot of the movie could have been exactly the same, but without the crazy weirdness that is like Dan Aykroyd and like the Spook House or whatever.
Well, it feels like a movie that like I know like Dan Aykroyd kind of says he was like bullied into directing it because no one else would do it, but he wanted to make the movie, so he accepted directing it. But like it feels like a movie where like outside of him, it doesn't feel like a movie that I don't know, Demi Moore is kind of like seems like she's having a good time. But it's like Chevy Chase clearly hates everything that's like he's doing in this movie.
Yeah,
he does not want to be there.
He's never had a good time.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like that.
Yeah.
Taylor Negron was having a good time.
Like I feel
he's
like
the opposite. He always is having a good time.
it's like I feel like honestly, if you got rid of Chevy Chase and put someone else in there, this would be way more fun.
To Taylor Negron.
And like it's a movie that like
Crease.
I respect as just like a weird thing that fucking exists.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like the set design and shit is incredible. Like it looks great, and like almost every inch of the screen once they get to Dan Aykroyd's weird ass fucking property looks cool.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Dan Aykroyd just has never been somebody I've liked. And so having him play like 8 characters in the fucking movie doesn't help.
Well, that's another. He played multiple characters because in addition to not being able to find a director, somebody willing to direct the movie, they also couldn't find people that wanted to act in the movie.
Right.
So that's why Dan Aykroyd plays multiple characters on top of directing.
I just don't know why anyone would pass this up. You know,
I just
think
it
makes
like
sense to me.
Like it needs more John Candy.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Because John Candy. Yes, was always good. And like I like anytime he's on screen, I'm like on board. But I don't know. I mean, it's like I think this like I gave it 1 star because it was just bad today, but like this is like a solid 2.5 for me movie. Like I'm not like it's not a movie I was ever like passionate about, and like you know, it's always in those lists of like the worst movie ever made, and like I do not agree with that. We have seen way fucking worse movies on this podcast than this. This is like completely watchable. It's just a movie that you see it and you're just like, I cannot believe anyone greenlit this.
Yeah, it's insane. I think that's
because in 1991, like I guess I'm not sure what like Chevy Chase's like what his filmography was like around then, but I feel like he was like well past his like prime.
I don't know.
I guess Christmas Vacation was a little before this.
Yeah, I mean, he had like a string of big movies in the 80s. I mean, these people are all like, this was Demi Moore's follow-up to Ghost. Like, Ghost came out.
Incredible of her. What a queen.
Yeah, this was the next movie. Like, this was what she rode her wave of stardom to, was this movie.
I mean, this is definitely like the end of Chevy Chase having like a good starring role career.
I don't know, because after that he went on to do Man of the House.
I knew you were. I fucking knew you were gonna say Man of the House.
Vegas,
that like,
and then
I mean, but like
all bangers.
Let's not forget Last Action Hero in there. Okay.
Yeah, but he's not a starring role in that. It's not like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Doesn't matter.
Like you have this, and then his next starring role is Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which is a huge flop. You have Cops and Robertsons. Fucking Man of the House. Vegas Vacation, I believe, is one that like is not well liked.
Oh, I like that one.
It's a banger. I love Vegas Vacation.
I don't like any of the vacation movies, which is probably not surprising to anybody. But like,
you heard it here. You heard it here first. Nathan is anti-vacation.
okay? I
Nathan
gotta take
hates
it back.
women and vacations.
That's true.
Yeah,
I take it back. He had
this is a
one
strictly misogynist anti-vacation podcast.
He had one good starring role after this in 2004 as Karate Dog.
I think he really did. Any of you guys watch Community?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I like Community.
I did too.
I feel like that was the best suited role for him because I feel like he was just like being himself in that, and he loved it.
Yeah,
Just being Chevy Chase.
Yep.
That's what everybody that worked with him on that show said, was like, he's really Pierce Hawthorne in real life. Like, nobody likes him, and he's just an asshole.
I really want to watch that documentary that came out about him recently.
Oh yeah,
he looks so shitty in every clip I've seen.
Yeah, saying a bunch of shit that then he's like, "You're not gonna air that, are you?" Like, bruv. Yeah. What?
And I mean, like, that seems to be his reputation forever. It's just that he was in shit that people liked, so he got away with it until he couldn't.
Yeah, and like weirdly, I feel like I didn't ever. He was on SNL, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really watched that era of SNL or like watched reruns of it really. So all I really know him from is like those early childhood movies, and he's like one of the ones that like I know I don't know, maybe is considered a pioneer, but as an adult reflecting back on the movies that I liked with him in it, he again is just like literally the same dude in every movie, like
he's playing a dad.
like sort of doesn't react, is like always just like saying little quips and adding little quips and stuff in places that like he thinks is gonna be funny or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
He was fine on SNL, but like I was always baffled, other than like I guess who the rest of the cast was, that he was always considered like the hot comedy guy. Which I've like never understood, because I don't know, he's always just looked like a weird dude to me. But then I'm like, well, I guess he was on there with like Dan Aykroyd and shit. So
yeah.
Shayne, how hot do you think Chevy Chase is?
Scale of 1 to 10.
I mean, like Chevy Chase now, where he like looks like I don't know. I don't.
Just say 10.
10. I don't even know how to respond to that.
No, we never saw Shayne again.
All right, Shayne, what is your history with Nothing But Trouble? Because I know as soon as Katie picked this, I immediately was like, I got to see if Shayne's available. Because for some reason, I don't know why, but I always associate you in this movie.
Shayne's the guy that's buying every DVD copy of it, so he can have all of them.
Shayne's like that guy with all the speed VHS tapes.
Yeah. No, I watched this. I watched it last night, but I didn't necessarily need to, because I've legitimately seen it 2 other times in like the last 5 months.
Amazing.
It's one of those movies where if I need something in the background, I'll just put it on. I mean, it's a piece of shit. I'm not gonna say it's not, like, I'm not gonna say it's a good movie, or
you should though.
Yeah,
I mean, we're on good movies right now.
I legitimately enjoy it. I don't know why people hate it so much, or it makes, like, I posted last night on Blue Sky. I posted.
No, that was a mistake. Don't post on Blue Sky.
Yeah, I was like, I'm watching a movie, and then it was just the poster from Nothing But Trouble, and for whatever reason, it got a bunch of people were like reposting it, and then I had to lock the replies because so many people were coming into the mentions to be like, I fucking hate that movie. I fucking hate Chevy Chase. This is a piece of shit. Like,
Chevy Chase killed my mom.
My entire week on Blue Sky has just been people in my mentions arguing about Dredd versus Judge Dredd, and I'm just like, just go away.
Still?
Like, yes. Like, I'm still getting like comments and likes on that fucking post, and I'm just like, would you guys go away? Like, Trump needs to do something insane so I can fucking escape these weirdos.
Yeah, that's why I turned the comments off. The people on that website are just like the most miserable, joyless people on the planet.
But nobody had anything to say about my Galactus Impreg. tweet. That's fine.
Because I'm the
What a
only one that
sentence.
knew what that was about.
I think it speaks for itself.
Every once in a while, Katie and I will be recording something, and then I'll just look at like a blue sky, and she just posted something that she just said, and I'm like, I'm the only one that knows what this is. Like, I understand like the love, especially like people around our ages would have for like a movie like this, because I'm sure this played on Comedy Central like
Yeah,
constantly.
It was on
And that-
Comedy Central a ton. I didn't see it in the theater, but I saw it when it premiered
I
on
assume
HBO.
a lot of people did not see it in the theater.
Yeah. Oh no, no, it was a huge
I did.
bomb.
Yeah,
This
like-
movie lost so much money.
I genuinely think, and like I know we've talked about it on this podcast a bit when we've done like random comedy movies, that like there's so many comedy movies that are just like considered bad that like I love because they played on Comedy Central so much. Like, so, you know, like I know Dirty Work has like come around, but for a long time it was just considered a shitty movie, like a shitty comedy. Or like you know, like Airheads used to play all the time, and
Yeah.
Dutch and shit
I
like
love
that.
Oh,
Dutch.
Dutch
And
is
I'm like,
so good.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I fucking these are comedies I fucking love because I would watch them 7 times a week on fucking Comedy Central.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have that question a lot, I think, because there's a lot of movies or like series, like when we were doing like Are You Afraid of the Dark or something else like that, where we have to ask ourselves like, is this actually good, or is it just beloved to you, so you cannot see it with like out rose-colored glasses? But I don't know.
My theory is if Norm Macdonald's in it, it's good.
That's fair.
Like
That
that
is fair.
fucking the video somebody made that's like chat pile music under him talking about punching a baby.
Oh yeah.
All right, Katie, we can get into this fucking
Let's go.
absolute insanity of a movie.
All
Best
right.
thing in this entire movie, though, is the end that ends with fucking cut out in the wall of Chevy
Oh,
Chase.
the Looney
Yeah.
Tunes
Yes.
thing.
That is
Incredible
somehow that is somehow to me the wackiest thing that happens in this movie.
Oh, it's a perfect ending because like I mean, everything else in the movie is like stupid, but you know is played off like it's a real world thing for the most part.
Right.
Like, you know, obviously the fucking roller coaster bone stripper shit is like, you know, like the body's going in and the fucking what it looks like. Well, that's not gonna strip fucking
Just
flesh for
bones.
bone,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
I forgot that is how this movie ended, and I was like, perfect.
Okay, so Nothing But Trouble, 1991, Esquire. So it starts with like the New York City scape and the credits, and jazz, because it's a classy movie. Do you know what I'm saying? Chevy Chase, who I called Chevy Chase by his name, Chevy Chase. I also called Demi Moore Demi. Everybody else I called by their movie name except for the
Tupac?
judge. Sometimes no, I called Tupac. Sometimes I call the judge, and sometimes I called him the Rev or the Reeve.
So get
or
ready for
whatever.
Katie to be very confused by her notes.
Yeah.
Yep, you know it. We recorded an episode on 4 episodes of like Batman the Animated Series, which I've seen all of those episodes like 1,000 bazillion times. And there was like one line that I couldn't like read what I wrote, and I just was like so flabbergasted, even though I like knew the episode. I was just like, what is it? What was I trying to convey to myself?
There's at least one note every episode that you're like, what does that say?
I know.
It fucking
And
makes
you
me
know
laugh
what?
every time.
We had an idea one time that like I would take the notes and then like send it to Nathan, and then he has to try and like read my handwriting to do.
We should do that for episode 400
episode?
of all 4 Frogtown movies.
Okay, sounds
No,
great.
let's not do that.
You're gonna love it. Thank you, Shayne, for liking my Galactus impreg.
No problem.
Doing the Lord's work here. Okay, so the movie starts with like Chevy Chase being what I assumed was a rich stocks guy, And eventually we find out that he's in financial publishing, which means absolutely nothing to me. I
When
don't
Tommy
think
said
that's
that, I was
real.
like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I think it just means because he was handing out a copy of his newsletter at the beginning, so I guess he was like
So he
rich.
makes zines.
Yeah, he was like rich
He's a
off a
crust
newsletter, which I don't know. He was like 30 years ahead of his time. I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
He
So
invented beans. I get it.
he's
Okay.
just a Substack guy now.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Crypto Substack guy.
So yeah, so let's just call him Rich Stocks guy. And he arrives to his apartment where there is a party going on in his apartment that he has nothing to do with. He seems to not know anything about what's going on up there, but it's like a rich fancy pants party. As he is getting on the elevator, Demi Moore appears. And she is all flabbergasted. She's got dogs everywhere. And she gets in the elevator with him, and he's like trying to make small talk with her because he's obviously like into her, and she just like immediately starts crying inexplicably. And he's like, "Hey, it's okay. Why don't you come to my apartment and have a drink?" And she's like, she kind of just like ignores him for the most part. She opens some mail that she has, and she becomes enraged by whatever this mail is, and she like storms out of the elevator. There's like this thing about how she had just moved in, and so she leaves the elevator having given him her coffee machine and also a bag of her dog's poop, which I feel like is fine.
Something he deserves.
Yes, he deserves a bag of poop.
Who did Demi Moore voice in Beavis and Butthead Do America?
I don't know the answer to that.
She was the Bruce Willis's wife. She was the guy. She was the woman that they thought they were going to have sex with.
Oh, I need to rewatch that. That just fucking broke my brain that she was a voice in that.
Yeah, it was. She and Bruce Willis were a couple. They did the voices of the scumbag couple.
Oh yeah, should talk about that movie instead.
Well, you can pick that.
Yeah, I'm picking that as my next good horror movie pick.
Okay, so then we see her go back to her apartment where she calls somebody, and it's revealed to us that she's a lawyer, and the receptionist who she's talking to is kind of essentially relaying to her that she has been fired by this client. She goes over to Chevy's party. Chevy's a party. Apartment party.
Chevy's a party.
There you go.
Sounds like a pizzeria.
Yeah. I would eat that. And shows him basically like some kind of like third party person that they're both involved with is doing some kind of landfill thing where they're trying to like buy a lake or whatever and turn it into a landfill, I guess. And so she's like, "Are you going to go to this thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know about that." And she's like, "Okay, well, I want to go. Like, can you let me borrow your car?" And he's like, essentially they have a lot of back and forth, which of them just like back and forth, but like the gist of it is just that he says that he's gonna go and he'll drive with her. There's these two people who I guess
I refuse to believe that Chevy Chase has a car that he drives.
A Beamer. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's like a fucking rich New York whatever the fuck, that dude's not driving.
Right. No, in New York, absolutely not. So basically, there's also these two people who he gives like financial advice to. So I guess like technically he's like he just like gives financial advice to people as far as like stocks goes and like tells people what they should be like doing or whatever. And so
is this the Miguel Ferreira and whatever the other person? Is that his name? No, that's Taylor Negron. Why am I thinking of? Why was I thinking Miguel?
Come on.
Yeah. I would have much rather followed these two stories.
Yes.
Than fucking Chevy Chase and Demi Moore. Just watch them and like John Candy escape.
No, I agree actually. But yeah, it's Fausto and Renata, and they're brother and sister, but they're kind of close for being brother and sister, if you ask me. And they're very like over the top characters kind of, and they're basically just like, "Oh, are you guys getting out of the city? We want to go with you." And so Chevy tries to be like, "Okay, yeah, we'll go at noon," thinking that they're gonna like party all night and miss going on the trip. And so they're gonna go because Chevy is just kind of like interested in like getting with Demi because she's gorgeous. Okay. So the next morning, Chevy has like a wicked hangover, and he's about to say like, "Oh, if she comes down here, like give her my keys, tell her I can't go because like I'm having this like insane hangover." But then she comes out of the elevator and he thinks she's hot. So he's like, "All right, actually, never mind. I'll go. Let's go." So they start to leave the parking garage, but then Fausto and Renata like show up and they're like, "Oh, haha, here we are. You thought we weren't going to be awake. Hee hee." And they like get in the car and they're loud and they're just making essentially like always talking. Like they're the party, you know what I mean? They brought a picnic. I think they sound lovely.
They're the best characters in this movie.
Yeah. Okay. I just wrote they come along much to Chevy's chagrin.
Man, Dean Cundey, what a fucking filmography as cinematographer. This, The Thing, Halloween, Flubber, Garfield the movie, Jack and Jill.
Flubber. Oh, Jack and Jill. Okay,
Jack
so
and Jill coming soon to this podcast. Shayne will be back.
Please no.
Is that the one? Is that the one where
Yes.
Adam Sandler?
That's the one where fucking Al Pacino wants to fuck female Adam Sandler so bad and does
his own
the Dunkachino commercial. Only thing worth.
Yeah, I thought that was a real commercial until like last year when I finally watched that movie.
That commercial is incredible.
Dunkachino.
Maybe, look, I get it. Heat, pretty good movie. That Dunkachino section, greatest thing Al Pacino's ever
done. At least there's that. So they're driving like from New York, and I actually don't even remember.
They're going to New Jersey. They're going to Atlantic City.
That's right.
And they're like, "Oh, the backwoods," and I'm like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, just get on the interstate.
Yeah, so they're like driving through, and it's like the dustiest, industrialist looking fucking strip of highway ever because that's just like what that area is.
So everyone in New York thinks New Jersey is like.
Yeah. And the siblings are basically like complaining because they're like, "This is ugly. This road is so ugly. We wanted to get away from the city and like go see the countryside, and we brought a picnic." And like they basically are like pitching a fit about this, and it like cracked me up because Chevy Chase's name in this movie is Chris, and Fausto kept going, "Oh, Chris," like he kept saying it over and over again, and it made me laugh so hard. And so they like pitch a fit about it, and so Demi pulls up her navigation system, and I was like, they had that in 1991? Wow.
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, I don't know. I assume there has to have been some sort of like real fucking bare bones thing, because like there were some kind of car phones around that time.
Yeah. When did car GPS come out? Oh, the 1990 in Japan. So
there you go.
90,
so rich people
90,
probably
91.
had it here.
So, like, right, like it essentially just came out. I wonder if the movie they were like, "Look, here's a free advertising for this newfangled thing, GPS,
cutting edge technology."
But it's really just like some colors on the screen. It's like it's like a black screen with like the root is like red and green or whatever. It's like nothing big. But she's basically like looking at it and she's like, "Listen, we can pull off the highway. We can go through this like country road. It should be along the river." Which I feel like in the Northeast is like you're not getting beautiful river views, but she's like, everyone's happy, okay, let's do that. So they do that and they pull off, and it's like Shitsville. It's literally just like shanty towns, and we see as they drive through it, like pans over with like menacing music to a sign that says, "Welcome to Valkenville."
Valkenvania.
It is their welcome sign is essentially like two cars having an accident, and there's dead bodies in the road, and then there's a cop holding a baby.
It's a pretty good welcome sign, if you ask me. I would move to that city.
Yeah, like not concerning at all, I guess.
Should have put Bone Stripper on the welcome sign.
Boner
Hell
stripper?
yeah.
Yeah, Boner Ripper.
Well, we'll see when we get to it what I actually wrote. Okay, I definitely thought the word boner was in it, so we'll see. Okay, so they're going through this town. Everyone's mean mugging them, right? Because they're in a fucking Beamer, and these people are like, "What are you doing here?" It's just like dirt road town, kind of like shanty kind of thing. And Chevy ends up running a stop sign in the village, and we see the village police like pull out and follow him. But like they're driving for kind of a while down the road. They're like finally on a stretch of land that's just like forest greenery around them, and this is when the cop pulls up. And then they do what I think is the dumbest shit. That's the other thing, actually, that as an adult really frustrated me about this movie is that like Chevy makes the worst possible decisions at every single turn. Like,
Well, that's just his
and
life.
well, and no, and it's like actually so real because I feel like he's playing like an archetypal character. Like he has no regard for anybody else. He just does whatever. So essentially what happens is that this is like a cop car that's like for the village itself. And Fausto and Renata are basically just like, you don't have to stop for this guy. He doesn't have
This is legitimately funny.
it's insane. He's like, he doesn't have jurisdiction here, like, and you can definitely just outrun it. So like punch it.
They're like, he's not gonna be able to do 90, and Chevy Chase is like, this car can do 130, and I'm like, well, number one, you're not gonna be doing either of those speeds on any of these roads in New Jersey.
No.
But like,
And
it's so funny. They're just like, just gun it, just outrun it. Who gives a shit? Fuck the police.
yeah, they're like, come on, don't be a weenie. Don't like, come on, punch it. And they keep like egging him on. And so he is being like egged on by those two people. And he thinks for some reason that this is going to like impress Demi, I guess. She's clearly like, hi, please do not do this. And he's just like,
She just fucked a ghost in the movie prior to this. You're not gonna impress her with this shit.
oh, absolutely not. Yeah. Chevy can't even throw pottery, right? So like, what does he expect?
Loser.
So he like he does. He punches on the gas and he's like zooming. He's going like 100. 100?
100.
Nailed it.
He's going 100 degrees in his car. But the cop car is just like keeping up because it has rocket boosters, of course. Why wouldn't it? And
Fucking cops.
That's right. And the cop is able to flip a switch in his vehicle that like basically blocks the road in front of him. And so they're like, "Oh my god." And so they like veer off the road. They're going around like a big quarry. They're like kicking up rocks everywhere. His car's like fucking spinning out all over the place. The cop is just like really easily keeping up with him and is like, "Hey, you really shouldn't be driving that fast here because like there's a quarry and also there's like big like rock trucks and stuff, so like why don't you just like chill out." And Chevy of course like still thinks that he can outrun this cop for some reason, but finally they get stopped because there's another cop car blocking the road, so they stop. The OG cop approaches them and it is revealed that it's John Candy. Delightful. And then Chevy says something that I'm not really sure. He says, "Sorry, I didn't realize you were a real cop," in a complimentary sense.
I'm gonna try
Okay.
that next time I'm pulled over.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's bound to work.
Okay, all right. John
I'm gonna
Candy
start
asks him.
recording from jail.
Right. He is like, "Hey, get out of the car." You know, John Candy searches him or whatever, and Chevy dares to ask what the charges are. Well, okay, he doesn't realize that he ran a stop sign or whatever, but then he tried to flee from the police. Like that's the charges. And so John Candy is essentially just like, "Oh yeah, you ran a stop sign back in that town." And Chevy's like, "Haha, okay, for real?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're under arrest actually, and you need to follow me to the Reeve, which is the local justice of the peace." And he's like, "Listen, if you guys just come quietly, I'm not even going to mention the speeding," which to me is like the egregious thing here because you were like actively trying to outrun the police. And that seems like worse than just rolling through a stop sign in like a desolate town, but it's whatever. So they are driving up to this compound and the place is like a garden/junkyard, because at first when they're like going up, there's just like a shit ton of like yard stuff, like gnomes, tires, bird baths, like all of the stuff. And the closer that they get, it's just like junk. And there's like this weird old-timey music playing over the speakers, like blasting out loud to them, which somehow is like the creepiest part to me. Then you start seeing signs that say be polite, no cussing, etc., etc. And
Seems like
Fausto
a
was
real fucking buzzkill going there.
yeah, right. Seems like a fun time to me.
I
No
like the idea
cussing.
of like a citywide swear jar.
Yeah, right. It's just
No
not polite,
swearing.
you know? Yeah. Fausto would like us to know that there's some real funky karma here, man. Which I agree with.
He's right. Fausto's
Um,
always right.
so they go through like a drawbridge
Yeah.
that like has to
The
be
old
lowered down.
jawbridge.
Jawbridge. That is like metal that John Candy has to like lower for them, and then they go over this moat, and there's like this metal sculpture of like a shark or a fish or something. I think it's quite beautiful.
Yeah, I would like one of those.
Yeah. We pull up to the Justice of the Peace, which essentially, and at this point it like pans out and you see just like literally piles of junk everywhere. It like literally looks like a salvage yard. There's like piles taller than the house of like cars and shit. And the house itself looks like a very, very tall, like bleached out, like schoolhouse type situation. Looks unpleasant to say the least, I would say. So they go inside. There's also no phones, so they can't like make a phone call or anything, which also seems bad. Priscilla, who is the police officer who like blocked the road for them originally, brings them in and also tells them that their car has been impounded. Also not great. This is where we meet I don't know, is it Rev or Reeve?
I want to say
Rev.
Reeve. Who cares? It's just Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, Alvin Velkenheiser.
I'm not even sure he has makeup on in this movie. I think it's just Dan Aykroyd.
Probably, actually. And this is like part of the thing that is like so because like the house also looks like a hoarder house. Like there's shit everywhere. It's old as hell. They walk up to like, you know, when you're watching Judge Judy and they have that like fence there that like separates, it's not a fence, but it's like a banister that separates like you from like the court proper. So they're standing in front of that and there's just like a wall in front of them, and all of a sudden again this like old ass music starts playing. Like I can't even remember, sometimes they're recognizable songs, but I don't remember what's playing here, but it's just like playing and the scene in front of them flips over, so like half of the wall goes up and then these like paintings flip around, and then he, who is Dan Aykroyd, of course, the judge, shows up, but he's like, he pops up out of nowhere, but there's like all of these books stacked on his desk so you can't see his face yet, but you can see by his hands that he is disgusting and decrepit at this point.
Rude.
So John Candy, meanwhile, has collected their IDs and passports and stuffs and puts it up on the desk and is like, "Hey, judge, like these people are here for failing to stop at a stop sign. Like I recommend, you know, like a slap on the wrist, letting them go, whatever." I wrote, John gives their IDs and stuff. He's all shaking and insane and looks scary. I think that's all you need to know. Also, so like he's just kind of like the judge. It's just like kind of making small talk with them, like weirdly. And for some reason, Chevy thinks that this is a good time to start smoking a cigar indoors while he's like
It was
facing...
the 90s.
I guess, but Demi is like mortified and she like puts it out, and of course,
Well, that's because he didn't offer her one.
well,
He's
maybe.
rude.
But then the judge is really incensed by this and he says, put out that dog rocket.
That's one of my favorite line deliveries, because what the fuck is a dog rocket? Why did he call it a dog rocket?
You know what a dog rocket is.
Yeah,
Like
come
a
on,
dog,
Shayne.
it's supposed to be a dog dick?
Yes.
It's not red.
Shayne, you've never smoked dog dick? What the fuck?
No. Oh man. Anyways, he like
I take it back.
yelled.
5 stars.
Thank you. Thank you. Demi puts it out and apologizes, is like, oh my god, Judge, I'm so sorry. Like he doesn't know like where his head is at or whatever. But Chevy just like continues to be an asshole. I forgot to say too, like they don't see what he actually looks like, and then all of a sudden he like pops up, and like imagine seeing that man in front of your face.
Oh, I would kill myself immediately.
Yeah.
Would somebody else like to describe what he looks like?
He's got a dick for a nose. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. On it, like someone circumcised his nose. Even
It is unsettling.
It's haunting.
To say the
I don't
least.
know if it would be worse or better if it was uncircumcised.
Just a foreskin on his nose. Incredible.
It just pushes it back a little bit every once in a while.
Get you some of that nose smegma.
This is your fault. You picked this shit,
That
Katie.
is insane. What an insane thing to say, Kit. I'm
My new grindcore band,
I'm-
nose smegma.
I'm not gonna like say that like
nasal smegma's better. Nasal smegma.
There you go. You got
We're
it.
rocking.
Oh
we
my
got
gosh.
there.
I'm not gonna say that I ever would have noticed or thought that until maybe you brought it up the last.
It is the only thing I ever think about when this movie comes up.
Well,
it's true.
I'm an innocent person, okay? I don't know what you're
Well,
talking about.
just wait. I'll pick Tusk, and then we could talk about Johnny Depp's character as a dick for a nose, too.
Oh, no. Anyways, he also is, like, very crusty looking.
It's just Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, he has, like, I don't know. He looks really insane. He looks crazy. And, so, of course, they're, like, scared by him, by his appearance. Chevy like continues to just like be a general asshole to him about the situation or whatever. This is when
again, not acting.
No. But the judge also is like, what do you do? And Chevy's like, oh, I am in financial publishing, which again means nothing. But so the Rev is like, oh, so you're a banker. And he's like, no, I do financial publishing. And he goes, so a banker.
I mean, honestly, that's pretty much the same shit I would say.
Like for real. And so because of this scene it's what did you send us? Oh no.
Oh.
Nah. Okay. All right. Okay. Gross.
Yeah, that's what I posted on the Instagram. That's the
I knew
him eating that
picture you were gonna pick. We're almost
him
there.
eating that seared into my mind forever.
Yeah. We're almost there.
I'm gonna get it as a back tattoo, I think.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah.
Like Steve-O, but
damn, I got both my hands covered. I would have got that on my hand.
So yeah,
Shayne, just so you're aware, it was the picture of Dan Aykroyd with the dick nose eating a hot dog.
I forget, I can send it in Discord, can't I?
Yeah. He already knew. He already knew what it was gonna be.
Yeah, well, it's still going in there, so you know.
Right. So this situation where like not only is Chevy extremely rude to everybody, like that's just how he is, but this situation where the judge decides that he is a banker is what the rest of this movie is why the rest of this movie happens, okay? So he's like basically like, hey, like we need to put you to trial. We're gonna have it tomorrow. Like, see you later. He has this like contraption of like knobs that he pulls behind his desk that like does different stuff around the house, and so he does that. And there's a trapdoor that opens, and all of them fall into, like I said earlier, a dirty pit of squeaky toys, which was like one of my core memories for some reason. And like, there are scenes in the movie where like Chevy and Demi are like trying to escape the house, but for some reason in my memory there was like more to that than there actually is. But basically, there's like this small scene of like another car getting pulled over, and it's like Daniel Baldwin and a bunch of people, that
So weird.
yeah, that
Look,
are
your
just
movie's not going to be good if there's not a third tier
Baldwin?
Baldwin in it.
Yeah.
It's one of the lesser Baldwins too.
I
Yeah.
literally when I saw him and I was like, he's definitely a Baldwin, but who is he? And I had to like look up like what his name was. I don't
Yeah,
even
it's for
think I knew it.
vampires. John Carpenter's
Well,
Vampires.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
well, joke's on you because that's what I'm picking next.
He was in great. You should. Vampires is a good movie.
No, I do like that movie. But I did not remember that his name was Daniel. Okay.
Damn, he's in a movie called Jurassic Reborn that looks like real shit.
It's probably great.
Honestly, this might be an Asylum movie. Yep, it's an Asylum movie that came out during whatever the last Jurassic Park movie came out.
Yeah,
Amazing.
of course.
Hell yeah, we're watching this.
Okay.
That's one of your good movies?
Yep.
Sight unseen, you know it's a banger.
After
Yeah.
400, we're gonna do just Daniel Baldwin movies.
Okay, let's do it.
There's 111 of them. We got a lot.
Holy shit. Okay. Okay,
Baldwin's
so
in demand.
they go
He's
before the
the Baldwin that didn't kill someone, so he's a hot commodity
That we
one,
know
Alright.
of.
the one Baldwin. That's
Yeah,
true.
that's-
That we know of.
on camera.
How is
Yeah.
he in Grey Garden? Oh no, this is the fucking the movie version of Grey Gardens, not the documentary.
That would have been
I was like, how the
cool.
fuck was he in Grey Gardens? But
Okay, so John Candy pulls them over. They get pulled into the judge, and of course they're doing like drugs and drinking and like all this other stuff, and they're like ripped out of their minds. And so they get pulled before the judge, and one of them is like, oh my god, is that a rubber nose? Is that nose rubber? Which I thought was really funny. Because
pretty good question.
yeah. And then the other one says, I plead the fifth dimensions, which I actually found extremely funny. Like I said, they have a bunch of drugs and weapons and paraphernalia and whatnot in the car, and so they basically get sentenced to death. And so, like, this is the first situation where it goes from like, oh, this is like wacky and goofy because this guy looks crazy and there's like contraptions, but like, oh, this is like serious, they're killing people. So he sends them to death. He pulls his little lever and they go out on a conveyor belt where they are thrown into like a crazy tetanus roller coaster situation that deposits them into a bunch of meat grinders. And I can confirm that I wrote Mr. Boner Stripper. So
You were close.
whatever it is, basically this like roller coaster dumps them onto a conveyor belt that then takes them to a bunch of like what looks like meat pounders, but it's like in a way that there's like a cutout of a guy's face, so it like looks like he's chomping on them. And basically what happens is that they go through the meat chompers and then their bones just get spit out at a target behind and make farting noises when they come out. Because
Yeah. Well, what else do you need?
I
have to
hope my
fun
bones
in
fart
life.
when I die.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody else that's been locked up is like been down in this like weird basement situation, and Priscilla basically is like, okay, it's time for supper. And so they go up there and they sit at this like really ornate table. The Rev is like lowered down to the table via straps from the ceiling, and he's just like lowered down in a regular ass like dining room chair.
How old do we think he's supposed to be?
120.
25?
Yeah, I'd go 25. 25 sounds
Yeah.
about right.
He's had a hard life in Valkenvania.
He had a like real college experience. Just drank too much, and now he looks like this.
There's a part where he references serving in World War One. So
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
25.
yeah.
He's like one of those like people that post that TikTok and are like, somebody today said I look 40, but I'm actually 23. What do you guys think? And then they're like flabbergasted when everyone was like, yeah, you look 45.
I love
actually.
when
Thanks
someone
for
does that,
asking."
where it's like they make a post where they're clearly fishing for a compliment, as if that's what the internet does.
Right? And it's always like far worse. You're just trying to get your feelings hurt. Don't,
Do you think somebody with my physique could wear this bikini? And it's like, what do you think people are gonna say?
Right. right.
You could be fucking Cindy Crawford in the 90s. They're going to still call you fat slob.
Fat. Yep. Yeah. You could lose 10 pounds, actually. Yeah. And then they would be like, mole, you know. So.
Or a mole.
People on the internet are not nice. And if somebody in real life said that you looked 40, you probably look 40. Sorry to say. Okay. What happened here? Boner stripper. Boner stripper happened. Okay. Okay. This is actually one of my favorite scenes because it's like so disgusting. And I think that it almost or does top that Pet Sematary 2 scene for me with the mashed potatoes. So that's like my standard of how gross does a food scene. These are like top tier. So yeah, so they're sitting at this like really big ornate table, and I love this so much. So he comes down, he's basically just like, "Hey folks, ready for supper?" And so he passes around a Hawaiian punch can, like a can of Hawaiian punch, which literally I don't think exists anymore. And he's got like an oil can spigot on it. And so he's like passing it around. And Chevy's just like, oh yeah, just what I like for dinner. Warm Hawaiian punch. Which like I can't actually discuss it. You know what? I think I would take that over a glass of milk, to be honest with you. But that's like pretty low on the totem pole for me for like dinner beverages. And then they're also offering them ants on a log.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that yesterday. I never noticed they were eating ants on a log.
I love that so much because that was like one of my staples as a child. And so like if for some reason you don't know what ants on a log is, it's literally a piece of celery with peanut butter in the middle and then raisins on top. It looks like ants walking on a log. But the fact that
snack.
Yeah.
that was like if you were in an ingredients household, like that's the snack that you had growing up, which was me, which was my house. And the thing that cracks me up about it is that they're offering this like it's a delicacy. They're like, here, ants on a log. And so Demi takes one of them. They're eating off of like fine antique china. And here's this like fucking ants on a log. They also weirdly gave the ants on a log in like an entire stick instead of picking it up. So it's like unruly and she like drops it on her plate. It's so funny. Then, oh, this is when we meet the Reeves granddaughter, Eldana.
I don't remember. It's just John Candy.
It is John Candy, but he is playing. Sometimes I wrote Endana and sometimes I wrote Eldana. So I don't know. Let's call her Eldana for right now. It is John Candy playing his twin sister. And she's beautiful. I love her. She arrives and the judge is basically just like, hey, she's single. And she's like making eyes at Chevy. She's like immediately love at first sight for him. We also find out that for whatever reason, she's mute. So she doesn't speak. And she just makes like little noises of approval and whatnot. But I think she looks great. The judge then is basically talking about how he hates this is where the crux of it comes from, right? He asks Eldana to like go prepare dinner, so she goes off, and while they're waiting, the judge is basically telling them that the reason that he hates bankers is because while he was away, I just wrote fighting in the war. I didn't specifically write what war, but I'm sure you're right. Probably was World War I. And he's like, and while I was there in war, his like dad or granddad or somebody was basically like swindled out of the rights to all of the coal that was on the land. Somebody came in and was basically just like, oh, I'll buy whatever. They basically got mined out of all the coal. So the entire place is just like in ruins now because it's like hollowed out all the coal. There's nothing on it that's like valuable anymore. And it just like left them with nothing essentially. And so that's why he hates bankers, right? And so sure, absolutely. And that's why he's like doing all of this to the group, even though again, none of them are actually bankers. It's just like, he's decided. I think Chevy deserves it, but I don't think the rest of them do. But anyways, this entire time, like Demi and Renata, whatever, are trying to like placate the judge and be like, "Oh my God, what a terrible story! I can't believe that happened to your family. I'm so sorry." And the dudes are just kind of being like assholes about it, of course. Eldana comes back in with dinner and serves them the grossest, grayest looking hot dogs I've ever seen in my entire life. And to make things even, like, she picks one up and like it's saggy and literally gray and dripping with just like water because like I assume she boiled them.
Just boiled them, yeah.
And then
the food is so wet.
It's incredibly wet and steamy.
Sopping, I'd say.
And then they serve it on white bread.
Hell yeah.
I would have lost my mind. I would have filled up actually on ants on a log, to be honest with you. When I saw those sausages, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, this is the thing though. He is basically just like, oh yeah, like hot dogs. Well, for a minute, Demi thinks that they're gonna eat actual dog, and like I actually wouldn't have put that past them. He does call them, he does correct her and say hot dog, but like we don't actually know what that is. Right?
I legitimately thought, because like it had been a long time since I'd actually watched this, that it was going to be like revealed like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 style thing, that like they were eating
like
the people that went through the boner ripper.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that wasn't
I agree.
plot, because like this movie is so clearly like a takeoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
or just like the house full of crazy people horror subgenre.
Yeah, and I also feel like very prevalently made by the ants on the log and them eating, they don't have hot dog buns. Like to me, it would have made sense for them to be like using all of the people, so to speak. But it actually seems like they're just killing them and not doing anything with them. I don't know.
That is so wasteful.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
honestly,
a bullseye that their bones run into, so like, it's clearly a game.
Right, that's fair. So he's like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, we're all eating hot dogs. Then he hits a button and like the hot dogs look disgusting. However, there is a train that goes around the table that has condiments on it. There's fixins on it. I was like, sign me up for the fixins train. There's a train that shoots pickles. Like, I need that. Yeah, so basically this is the scene where the judge eats the hot dog. He fixes it up by like putting a shit ton of mustard on it essentially, and he eats it, and it's really fucking gross. You can go see a picture if you don't want to watch the movie on our Instagram. I just wrote judge eats hot dog, real gross. Wow,
real
this is
sloppy like.
It's like the wettest possible dog I've ever seen. There's
and
like
the way it's
hot
like
dog water dripping. Yeah.
The way it's like shaking when he's like shaking it with his hand, it is the most sickening.
It's gross. His fucking nose is like in the mustard. It's really, really
yeah, he's
disturbing.
like really, he is going to town on that wiener. That big wet dog.
Oh gosh. So thankfully there's a distraction from this disgustingness because the house starts to shake and rumble, and there's also an explosion, and they're basically just like, oh my God, what's going on? And he's like, oh no, it's fine. It's just a mine fire that's going on underneath the ground. Not to worry. It's really no big deal. And Chevy is like, this is what? And John Candy lets slip. He's just like, he hopes it'll be fine or something. So there's a little seed of discourse going on here, I should say. After watching him eat that sloppy, disgusting dog and seeing the fixins train, Fausto freaks out. He has had enough. He basically is just like, me and my sister are too good to be here. He says something like she was queen of the Mardi Gras or something, and you people are gross. We are getting out of here right now. We're leaving. And so it basically, he says like, they're too good to be there essentially. And the thing that really set him off, he says like they're too good to be sitting at a table with a pickle shooting train. And I was like, hold on now. Hold on now.
No one is too good for that.
Send the train to me. I will happily take it. Priscilla pulls out a gun and basically tries to stop them, and they just decide to jump out a window. And they go running off, scampering off into the junkyard. The judge calls the dogs, whatever. As they're like they're like running across the yard or whatever. Renata says they had such ugly, ugly food, which cracked me up. They end up sliding down into the gross gray moat that was like in front of the house or whatever. And so like while that's happening, they they're like, oh my god, they're escaping or whatever. So Aldona shows Chevy and Demi to their room forcefully. Also, the room is already trashed. Every single room in this house is like disgusting and dirty and trash. There's shit everywhere.
Rude.
Yeah, sorry.
I'd live in that house.
It could be a beautiful Victorian if they would just take care of it, but they're too busy. They're too busy passing law and whatnot. They're too busy
stapling IDs to the wall.
They're too busy oiling the fixins train to deal with
fair.
it. Yeah, there's a lot of maintenance that goes into it. It's a lot of wet toppings that go on hot dogs, also. So like you gotta make
Slop
sure
them up.
there's no electrical fires going on with it. It needs regular maintenance. Fausto and Ronala come out of the other side of the moat where they're faced with John Candy, and they basically are like, please don't turn us in. Like, we'll give you money. And he's like, I don't really need money. Like, I have like room and board here. Like, what else do I need? And they're like, oh, don't you need a vacation? Don't you want to get out of here? This place fucking sucks. Like, why don't you just come with us? And like, you can have a vacation and have fun and like live the good life or whatever. And John is like, okay, hide. He like tells them to hide as the dogs start coming. And then at this point, we don't really see none of the three of them for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, until like towards the end.
Yeah. Back up in the room, there's like this weird scene where like Demi is like confessing that like the whole reason she was like super upset about this landfill situation in the first place was because this guy that she was a lawyer for, she was a lawyer for him. She was like also like sleeping with him or whatever, and he double crossed her and she's upset about it. She's basically talking about how like she has really bad judgment, really bad taste in men or whatever. And so, but then she starts like making out with him.
As she's like kissing him, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah. And he's like, of course, like, hell yeah.
Closer than fucking Dan Aykroyd's face in this movie.
No, I agree. And then she says, oh, you're nothing but trouble. I need to lay down. And she goes to lay down. And he's like, what the shit just happened?
Did you point at the screen?
Yep, I did. I did. So after a while, they're in the bed or whatever. We see a painting of what looks like grandmother John Candy. But the eyes are like somebody's real eyes, like watching them or whatever. And the song plays that's like and like the bed starts spinning around or whatever, which like seems like the worst thing to wake up to. And they're like, what the shit? And then the front door the door to the room opens on its own. So they're like, oh, we got to get out of here. So then they leave the room, and there's like this scene of them kind of like roaming the house, but like a bunch of the doors are either locked or the doors are slamming in front of them or whatever. And there's like a hallway of like silly rooms. Like one of them is just like full of baby doll parts, and one of them is like a tombstone for somebody. It's just like a slapsticky kind of thing. And then the hallway starts like closing up behind them, and they're like, ah. And they end up going up a ladder into the attic. And like, I have to assume that like all of this shenanigans that's happening is like designed by the judge, but like I don't really understand like what the point of them finding out what was going on is necessarily.
Yeah, he's just having fun. He knows he's gonna throw him in that boner ripper.
Yeah, that's fair. So they go up into the attic, and they end up getting like stuck in there because the safe rolls over top of the thing, so they can't leave or whatever. This is when they realize that the attic walls are literally like completely covered, littered with like IDs, passports, news reports, newspapers of disappearances, a bunch of disappearances. Like literally, it's a full attic just filled with people's stuff.
R.I.P.
And
Jimmy Hoffa.
yeah, going back to the 1890s, there's also some skeletons up there, which like big deal, you know.
Yeah, who doesn't have skeletons in their house?
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Weirdos.
So they're like looking around, and this is when they realize that like a bunch of the people, like the newspaper clippings of people having disappeared, coincides with like the IDs and stuff that they see there too, and they realize that a bunch of the people who have died have been bankers. Okay, they're stuck up there.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
So, why are there so many bankers driving through this area?
That's what I want to know for real. Like, how do you get? I feel like the amount of people that they've like trapped and killed, like I can't even imagine that many people are like driving through. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's only like 4 roads in New Jersey. They would not be driving down this area.
I don't think so. After a little while, Chevy and Demi are smoking cigars together, just kind of like chilling because they're like, what else can we do? And a panel opens in the wall, and they go over there, and there's a slide, and so they go down it, and they're separated. Demi is now outside, like in the junkyard, and Chevy like gets rerouted to a hole that looks into the judge's bedroom, but like it's just an open hole into his room with like a pile of bones. So like I don't really understand what the situation is for this to be a thing. So the judge is in the bedroom, and Chevy is like looking through a crack in the wall at him, and he's like singing, and he takes off his hair and his nose and his leg.
I would never take that nose off.
That's like back to begs the question that when that guy was like, "Is that nose rubber?" It is factually, it is in the movie also, and it's like, why would you choose that nose?
Do you think
Why you
it's
choosing it?
like he had like a weird George Washington teeth thing?
Maybe.
We can't get into that right now, but
No,
Yeah.
we can't. But whose nose? Whose, where did that
you
come
feel
from?
like
What-
do you think he stole someone's dick
Yes.
from the bone
I am
ripper
now. Yes.
and just like uses it as a nose?
Yeah,
I think
well,
it's
called
his
the
dick.
boner ripper, so yeah.
Oh
I think
man.
his dick fell off.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know how sometimes people, how people said that Megan Fox had her toe on her hand? I think it's like that. I
We're
think
throwing
you
it
can,
back.
you can just,
Look, hear me out. Dan Aykroyd, you're probably listening because what else are you doing?
yeah.
Like, you
Making
probably listen
Crystal
to
Skull vodka, of course.
He's 100% listened to our Ghost Adventures episodes. So,
Definitely, yeah.
like, prequel.
Yeah.
Do a prequel to this so we figure out how your dick fell off and you glued it to your face as your nose.
Well, so there's like this random throwaway line where they see a news report of being an explosion in the mine or whatever, and Chevy like puts it together like, oh, that's what happened to him. But I was just like,
His dick got blown up and stuck to his face.
like just his nose and his leg are gone in that situation somehow. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I buy it. Makes sense to me.
I mean, I don't know anything about mine explosions, surprisingly. So I guess how would I know?
They're not great, from what I understand.
That's what I've heard. Actually, yeah. Oh yeah. So it takes off his hair and his nose and his leg, and Chevy, of course, is like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" He's like silently yelling. This is like the only part in the movie that I like genuinely laughed at him. Is that he turns to the side and goes, like silently screaming. I was like, "Girl, same." And then the judge gets in bed. He's gonna go to sleepy time. While this is happening, Demi is out in the junkyard, and she stumbles upon the judge's grandsons who are arguing. Their names are Bobo and Lil Devil.
This is so fucking weird.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions about them. They look like huge elongated babies. Like they're literally wearing nothing but like diapers. And for some reason they have like 4 boobs. And they have kind of like a Sloth from Goonies thing going on looking kind of thing. They're like I I don't know how to describe them. They're also extremely wet.
They're covered in
So,
grease.
Everything
Yeah.
in this movie is extremely wet.
yeah, it's true. It's true. They are upsetting to say the least. And I can understand like before I rediscovered what this movie was, I had like one of the only scenes I had in my head as them sitting down like on that couch or whatever playing the card game with her. And I was like, this is terrifying. Like, what was this? I was scared, but also intrigued. Like, how do they exist? Like, what's going on with this? I did not remember the judge looking crazy. Like, I only remembered the boys.
Insane.
I know. Yeah, I want to know who came up with this design.
Dan Aykroyd.
He came up with the design for the boys.
I would bet you anything Dan Aykroyd is like the main creative voice
Decision
behind
maker.
everything in this.
Well, the weirder thing too is that I saw that it was based off of a story that his like older brother, Dan Aykroyd's brother, wrote, and I was like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah,
So-
he like does stuff with his brother a lot, I believe.
Maybe, yeah,
They both seem very weird.
yeah. Well, yes, yeah. We can't even get into how weird actually. Okay, so
For
they,
the Patreon episode.
yeah,
We're
deep
just gonna
dive
read Dan
into what's
Aykroyd's
wrong with Dan Aykroyd.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, you could honestly, you could. So they're arguing or whatever, and they kind of like discover Demi, so she runs. Eldona is out there working on her sculpture art. She's a sculpture artist. And or scrap metal artist or whatever you want to call it. And she captures her and she's about to throw her into a flaming barrel of trash. And that makes 2 movies in a row where there's flaming barrels of trash.
As there should be, every movie.
So that's going to be our new Seinfeld connection. If there's not a flaming barrel of
I
trash,
forgot all about that.
can't do it. The boys plead with Eldona and are like, please, please, we just want to play with her a little bit. Like, don't kill her. And Eldona's like, puts her down and is like, okay, gives them a stern look. And they're like, don't worry. Demi passes out because of this. This is perhaps maybe to me another one of the weirder scenes where Priscilla brings another car to the judge. And it is Tupac and the band Digital Underground or the band Digital Underground who show up. One of them is like wearing a fake nose.
Yeah, that's fucking oh, why can't I think of his name?
Oh, Shockmaster G?
Yes, yeah, I do something shock something, but like that was his gimmick.
Yeah.
His
Okay,
glasses and the fake nose.
I was gonna ask that because I actually did not know, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Do you know what song they sing, Katie? Not in the movie, but like what Digital Underground is famous for.
What is it?
The Humpty Dance.
Oh,
Banger. The ultimate banger.
I don't know.
We should
that
play it under us talking for the whole episode.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Alright,
do
go
the
ahead.
entire episode just that.
Okay, great.
Immediately get it taken down from every fucking thing.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. It made me laugh because when they get out of the car, they're looking around, and then one of them says, "Would you look at this place? It's extremely Draculated," which really, really, really made me
They
giggle.
are the best part of this movie.
Yeah, and so essentially, they get pulled in. So the judge is called. He wakes up. He puts his nose and his hair and his leg back on and goes down. After he leaves, Chevy sneaks out of the wall bone hole in the room and is like snooping around. I think this is when he sees the newspaper article that is like there was an explosion or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, that's what happened to him." And I was like, "I don't think that explains it for me, buddy, but okay." While he's snooping around, he also gets a gun. While he's snooping around, the judge pops back up and is like, forgot his pistol, and he goes, "I'm gonna stick you," and then they start fighting. And at one point he goes, "Muskunk," which I also found very funny. Chevy runs into Aldona. They're like fighting, chasing, whatever. He runs into Aldona, and the judge is like, "All right, well, you know how it goes. House rules." Basically, like, he's not going to kill Chevy, and Chevy's like, "Okay, yeah, great. House rules. What does that mean?" And he goes, "Well, the house rules is that whoever touches her, she keeps." So, he belongs to Aldona now, and she picks him up and takes him into her bedroom. Demi, meanwhile, while this is happening, Demi is in a makeshift cage with the boys, and she's like playing cards with them, and she seems to actually be enjoying them and her time. She's talking like them, which is kind of like weird baby talk-ish situation. And this is when the Digital Underground, basically they're like, the judge is like, "What are you guys? Like, what's going on here?" And they're just like, "Oh, we're musicians. Like, we're a traveling band. Like, we play music or whatever. We're DJs." And he's like, "Okay, I'm going to have to like hear the music. Let's go." And so they start playing. They play the song. The judge joins in on his piano and is like letting it rip or whatever. And the judge is essentially just like, "You know what? Since you guys are contributing to society and the arts, I'm going to drop the charges and you can go." And they're like, "Oh, hell yeah." And then he's like, I think and then like Chevy is like there too, watching, I guess. And so he's like, "I'm going to need your guys' help with something." And they're like, "Okay." And then it like cuts to the judge kind of telling Chevy that like, ever since he came here, Aldona has been like in love with him, and that he thinks what Chevy should do is stay, take her hand in marriage, and become part of the family and like inherit everything. And you can either do this or you can die.
Yeah, I'll get bone stripped.
Yeah, let's get the boner ripper out of here, stripper out of here. And basically he's kind of still like bullied into saying yes. So the Digital Underground plays the wedding march for Aldona. She comes down in her gown, and the Rev marries them. After that, like, he says yes the whole nine, they kiss or whatever, and then he's like, "Okay," he tells the Digital Underground that they can leave, and then Chevy's like, "No, wait, take me with you. Oh my god, help, take me with you." And they're like, one of the guys goes, "Yeah, I was nervous on my wedding day too." And they just like leave. They're like, "You'll be fine. You're fine."
They're so good in this.
It is so funny. Aside from like, obviously, it's not my favorite thing in movies where there's just like randomly a song for no reason. I do feel like this is like something like funny to add to the movie. If it was just like random people, I think it wouldn't have been as good, honestly. But
I think it's funny too because like, why is it Digital Underground? Like, why?
That's
right.
the only thing I can assume is like somebody at the studio making this pushed for them. Because I can't imagine anyone else in this movie being like, you know who we should get?
Yeah, I don't think Dan Aykroyd was like dialed into like late 80s hip hop.
That's fair. So, Chevy has broken Aldana's feelings at this point, and the judge is mad and he's not going to have it, and so he's going to send him to Mr. Bone Stripper. You know what? Actually, I wrote Bone Tripper at this point. So
What was happening?
I don't know.
Tripping bones.
Boner Tripper is what I have. While this is happening, like, he gets on the tetanus roller coaster, he goes onto the platform, he is like kind of running backwards on it or whatever to try to avoid like the meat chompers, and because of him doing this, it like causes one of the axles to break, and essentially the entire machine breaks, and he ends up surviving. He does get farted out at the end, but he's alive. And he escapes. The Reeve like announces over this like announcement thing that's basically just like, "Hey, bro, like, just so you know, you can like leave and run away or whatever, but we've got Demi and we're gonna kill her." unless you like come help save her or whatever. And Demi basically grabs the thing, is like, no, run, save yourself or whatever. And so he goes to do that. He gets like pretty far away, and then he's like, oh no, wait, like she's worth it. I'm gonna go back and save her, which honestly is very surprising of his character. So while they're like setting up this contraption to basically like guillotine Demi, he finds a barrel of oil which he lights on fire and then like rolls it into this stack of barrels that causes like a huge explosion. They're all running. Demi and Chevy like get in a car and they're being like chased by Priscilla and the boys. There's like explosions happening. There's like a whole car chase. Eventually, Chevy and Demi get onto this like passing train, and they're like, "Oh, we escaped. We made it." And then they like kiss, and it like fades into darkness. Honestly, the movie could have just ended there, but they're like, "No, no, no."
There's 2 more endings.
No. What? Just
like
hold
fucking
on
Lord of the
here.
Rings.
Literally. Right. And so they're back in the city, and it kind of just like cuts in on them trying with like this diagram on a whiteboard explaining to the cops and the attorney general what happened while they were out there and all of this crazy stuff. And they're basically just like, this is going on out there. You have to stop them. This is crazy. They've killed hundreds of people. And they're like, okay, like we want to believe you, but like we can't just like go out there. You have to come with us to make an ID on. And Chevy was like, I don't think you'll have a hard time IDing him. Like he is pretty memorable looking, if you ask me. And so the police storm the place. There's like all these cop cars coming in. There's like hundreds of police officers for some reason. And they get there and they're basically just like, hey, we can't serve the warrant if they don't come out and let us serve the warrant. And so they're like kind of like leading Demi to be like, okay, well, we would be happy to get them to come out. Like, we'll go up there. And the attorney general's like, oh, I don't know if you want to. And so they go up there and they ring the doorbell, and the Reeve and Aldona open the door, and he's like, what are you, I don't know you, what are you doing here? Why are you bothering an old man? And Chevy's like, hey, that's not gonna work here. And the Rev says something really weird, like, watch out, you're gonna get stung or something like that. He says something
He says something.
weird.
There's like a bunch of like a hive of bees behind them or whatever.
Yeah,
And then when they
but
turn around, they're all like, "Hey, what's up?"
He kind of like whispers it to them, and he like points with his like decrepit, jagged finger, and it's like really creepy. And then they're like, "What are you talking about?" And they turn around, and all of the police officers and the general attorney guy and whoever else are just like, "What's up, Rev?" Or like, "Hey, Rev," or whatever. And basically, Chevy and Demi are like, "Oh shit," because they realize that the entire police force is like under the thumb of the Rev. And he's like laughing, and they do this like thing again, yes, where you think it's gonna be the ending because it like zooms in on them and are like like this intense music or whatever, like they've been caught. And then all of a sudden everything starts rumbling again, like the whole screen is rumbling, and the Rev is just like, oh no, the mine fire, run for your lives. And so everybody starts scattering. Demi and Chevy end up finding like the busted remains of the Beamer. It's been completely taken apart, but for some reason it still works. And they drive away as the house collapses and there's like a huge explosion. Then
The end. Oh, never mind.
No, right. Could have been the end, but it's not. Because now it shows us Fausto, Renata, and John. I don't know where they're supposed to be. Spain, maybe. I didn't really like catch that, but essentially like they're all living the good life together now. Renata and John are like a couple living with Fausto, just like having a good life. And you know what? Honestly, I love that for John Candy.
This could have been the end, and I would be like, hell yeah, good.
Yeah, or like they could have done that as like the after credit or mid credit or something.
I would again watch an entire movie with just the three of them hanging out,
doing shenanigans. Me too. They seem like fun, honestly. And Then it shows us Chevy on his couch, and he's like having a nightmare, and
his
he's like,
nightmare sounds are unhinged.
he's like, oh, woof, 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 woof. And I'm like, what's the bark? Is it the hot dogs?
Did not enjoy that.
Yeah. And so Demi wakes him up or whatever, and is like, you're just having a nightmare or whatever. The important part is that there's the TV's on, and he sees a TV report about the explosion that happened. And the reporter is like standing there. She's like, I'm among the rubble. Here, blah, blah, blah. And you see somebody behind her, and she goes, this is like such a reporter thing too, because she goes, sir, how do you feel now that you've lost everything? And somebody's like sorting through the trash or whatever, and he turns around and it's the Rev, and he's basically just like, well, we lost everything, but we're gonna be okay because we're gonna move in with my grandson. He lives in New York. And it like zooms in on his face, and he's like holding Chevy's like ID with like his address and stuff, and he's like like laughing or whatever. And Chevy's like, oh no, oh my god, oh what? And then he like zooms, and it literally cuts to like a Chevy shaped hole in the wall, and it is like the most cartoonish thing ever in the entire movie. Somehow that being the last scene is like really the icing on the cake. Then there's like the credits with everybody's faces, where everyone is essentially just Dan Aykroyd and John Candy, and that's the end.
Two things. Apparently, they wanted to release this movie as a Christmas movie in December.
That would have been awesome.
Yep. And then there's a fucking thing of the IMDb trivia that's like, the crew enjoyed working with John Candy and Demi Moore, but Chevy Chase, as he is infamous for, proved to be a nightmare. Chase was verbally abusive to everyone on set, tried to speak on Morv's behalf on her skimpy costume, and stated that he had more worth than Aykroyd because Chase had the bigger paycheck. The crew was furious at Chase's treatment of Aykroyd, with one crew member even threatening to drop a brick on Chase's head if he ever spoke to the director like that again.
Wow. That surprises me.
And apparently almost every idea in this movie was either suggested by a crew member or was something that Dan Aykroyd had a dream about. So,
you know what?
Go see a therapist.
They speak to him through his dreams, okay?
Yeah, I love that. That's the true sign of an artiste there.
Man, movie unhinged.
It's good. I stand by it.
I think people should watch it. If you're listening to this, you've never seen it, you should watch it.
Oh yeah, this is a movie you should experience.
It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Goonies combined. It's like, I don't know. I don't know why people hate this movie so much. I mean,
it's definitely. I'm baffled. I mean, like, it's not good. Like, if you're thinking of it in terms of like.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Martin Scorsese movie.
I get, but like Kid always says, like, if your idea of the worst movie ever made is something that played in a major movie theater, then you've had a privileged movie viewing life, because this like, if you did maybe the top 200 worst movies ever made, maybe. But like, I don't know. Like, this is by far should not be on any of those like top 20 worst movies ever made lists, because it's
there's no way.
At minimum, it looks good. The set design is good. It's just fucking baffling.
I mean, it's a completely deranged piece of filmmaking. Yeah. Like, I don't. I mean, if for nothing else, you should just watch it, because it's just.
There's nothing like it.
It's just like,
it's crazy it got made.
Yeah, the entire time you're like, I can't believe that a major motion picture studio financed this and put it in movie theaters.
Yeah, because I also feel like it's not one of those movies they made to be like, this isn't like to be bad. They just like made it, and they are, for all intents and purposes, acting like this is a totally normal thing to have done, and it's absolutely not. And so, like, that aspect of it, to me, just like, it's insane that it exists.
Yeah, go watch it. Do a lot worse with your time. All right, Shayne, what have you watched in the last, I don't know, 6 months since you were on last time?
Oh boy.
Every movie.
Yeah, let me see. I haven't been watching a lot of movies lately, honestly. Or I'll watch stuff that I've already seen. Like I watched
Yeah.
Bride of Chucky the other night. I watched Beverly Hills Ninja
Hell
recently.
yeah.
How's
Which
that
is
hold up?
another movie I love that everybody hates. But yeah, my girlfriend and I have been watching Love is Blind, so that's people's
unfortunate.
crazy relationship drama.
I like Love is Blind is one of those shows that bums me out because like the premise, if you did that with regular people, I am fascinated to watch. But everyone on it is genuinely attractive or generally attractive, so it's like, who cares?
Yeah, I think 90 Day Fiance is like the actual realistic
Yeah.
looking people's version of that.
Yeah, 90 Day Fiance, perfect show.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something new that I've seen, but we tried watching that new shark movie on Netflix, Thrash, but it is so boring. We just turned it off.
Devastating.
Kit, you watch anything?
I rewatched 2021's Mortal Kombat.
Hell yeah.
I've been
I need
introducing Tess to all of them because she's unfamiliar, so we're getting hyped for the second one.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that one. I saw it the first time when it first came out. I don't remember liking it. I thought it was like kind of boring.
I don't think it, I think we maybe just talked about it in a regular episode because I think we all watched it, but like
it was pandemic time,
fine.
so
yeah. But like I remember being like the opening I thought was really good, and then like the Sub-Zero thing towards like the end. But I just remember just being like, I just wish this was like more fighting and less like team building. And I did not.
Yeah.
I remember not liking the like made up character for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I also was just like, oh, it's fine. It's no Annihilation.
I mean, nothing is.
Yeah, that's a banger. Katie, what did you watch this week?
I don't think I watched any movies, but we watched that Malcolm in the Middle reboot little thing, and it was fine. Like we got some chuckles out of it. That's it, I think, was the only new thing.
How's Jag going?
Okay, I will say we're on season 4 now, I think.
Unhinged.
It's slow going. It is not as boring as the first season was. Like it's still not good, but at least there's more like action and explosions and stuff. There was like there was one episode where this lady, somebody was like after one of the dudes and they like rigged her porch step to explode when she stepped on it and it killed her, and it was crazy. So like there's some stuff like that has been where we're like hedging closer to NCIS territory where it's like bad funny and not just like bad boring, but like overall I still cannot recommend. So
I just had a couple rewatches this week. I rewatched Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, a banger.
Yeah.
Mostly because I wanted to listen to the Ernest Dickerson commentary. I rewatched Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, another banger, and then I rewatched the 2022 The Batman. And then I had Caitlin watch Dread for the first time, which at one point they asked me if it was a Sci-Fi Channel movie, and I got very upset.
Devastating. What a devastating burn.
They really liked it, but like they were baffled by the slow-mo things in it where like everything's like real sparkly and shit. And I was like, it's just a fucking stylistic choice.
That's what drugs
so
are.
Fucking good. And then it ruined my week because I made the mistake of posting about it on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Foolish.
At least for the most
Never
part,
post.
people were like supportive of what you were saying.
Yeah,
until they started arguing with each other.
It was once people started arguing about what comics would be better for a movie. I'm like, who gives a shit? Shut up. Kit, what do you want to shout out?
Oh, fuck. Not having to work in attics. Attics fucking suck.
Yeah,
I was in an attic all day yesterday.
If you have an attic, get rid of it. Throw that shit away.
Yeah,
honestly. Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Don't do stuff up there. It's bad. It makes you really itchy and it's hard to breathe.
Yeah, don't just staple a bunch of people's IDs and news clippings up there.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
Katie, will you shout out?
I'm gonna shout out
addicts. Rude.
No, because you know what? I have never gone up in our attic, and I won't. I will not. I'm not gonna. This is an anti-attic podcast. Also.
Don't let big insulation trick you into doing it.
I won't. Don't you worry about me. Also, for some reason, like none of the houses in Florida are insulated? Question mark. Don't know why. Couldn't imagine why you would need insulation. No, I want to shout out. I'm not usually. I'm gonna shout out that I'm not gonna use this company, but we got this ad today from this company called Liquid Lawn.
I'm not gonna use this company, but I'm gonna shout it out.
Oh no, just wait. I saw it.
Listen.
Oh, I can't wait.
So they sent an ad, and it's like one of those ads that looks like it's been handwritten for you or whatever. And it says, like what it's about lawn treatments, a quote. The first thing it says does your lawn look shitty? Question mark. I'm not even kidding. Like I'll send the picture. Start. And we get like stuff from this all the time. We were like flabbergasted. It says, does your lawn look shitty? The lawn man is here to help. So then there's like all of these things they do, fertilizer, weed control, blah, 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 blah. The reason that I'm shouting them out is because not only is their website www.killmyfuckingweeds.com, they have sent our neighborhood Facebook group like into an absolute frenzy. Because the people that live in our neighborhood cannot. You would have thought that the lawn people rolled up on their lawn and shot their dog the way that they're acting over this fucking ad. And like, I do understand maybe killmyfuckingweeds.com was like a step overboard because like you don't usually see that in print, but like
no, disagree. Fuck weeds. Kill them.
Honestly though.
Gun them down.
But like, just reading through the comments of the people that are just like absolutely irate over this has just like really been giving me life. So that's my
There are children trying to Google where they can kill weeds at, okay? They don't need to be saying fuck all about.
That's true. This one lady posted like all of these paragraphs and she basically is like she's like beside herself because she, in her words, had to explain to her autistic 15-year-old son because he thought it was hilarious, but she had to explain how it was inappropriate because he knows we don't approve of him watching anything on YouTube with that kind of language.
Grow up.
Then she had to text a picture to her husband so he could come home and they can have a chat with their son about inappropriate language. Hilarious. Absolutely 10 out of 10. Like, it's free entertainment at this point.
Shayne, you want to shout something out?
Sure. I'm gonna shout out the 9 Inch Nails and Boys Noise performance videos from Coachella from last weekend because they're awesome. I don't know if your listeners do not know what this is. It's Boys Noise is a DJ and 9 Inch Nails took him out as an opener on their tour last year, and part of their set was collaborative, where they covered a few 9 Inch Nails songs together, and then they did an entire set at Coachella, and it's fucking awesome. They're putting out an album too soon, so just
yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Like that version of Heresy they did is so good. The version of Closer, I'm so stoked.
Hell yeah.
I got a double shout out. Scattered, Smothered, and Covered. Either Waffle House or the Unsane album. Take your pick.
Okay, I was gonna say there's no way you mean Waffle House, but hard agree.
I mean,
there's no way he didn't mean
fucking
Waffle
rocks.
I love Waffle House.
Oh man, Waffle House is so good.
Yeah, I haven't had Waffle House in well over 15 years.
I used to go every Friday when I was in like my senior year of high school. Two of my friends would go right before school, and I would eat so much food that like my first 3 periods of classes would just be the fucking worst. I'd be like, I'm so full.
Is the album about Waffle House?
No, but the video for Scrape is just a bunch of skateboarders falling down and it fucking rocks.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
awesome. That video rules.
Yeah. All right, Kit, what are we doing next week?
Oh fuck.
I do. You're like,
Hold on. No, I wrote down a list like 2 weeks ago. I was like, no, I'm not gonna get caught off guard because I'm gonna fucking forget. I just gotta see which one's fucking streaming somewhere.
All right, I'll do like our wrap up shit, and then we can do that at the end. Hold
on. Did we have we ever done Dog Soldiers?
No.
No.
Okay, Dog Soldiers.
Hell yeah, I'm in. I think I own that. Vinegar Syndrome put that out.
Scream Factory did a while ago. I don't know if there's been an updated one.
Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. All right, yeah, it's on Tubi. Perfect.
It's a banger.
I've seen this in a long time, so
I fucking love Dog Soldiers. It was on Sci-Fi Channel like every weekend.
Oh, perfect. I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, Dog Soldiers is awesome.
What, the only other good Neil Marshall movie besides The Descent?
The only good werewolf movie.
No, Neil Marshall he's done a few good ones. He did
Has he?
What was that? Yeah, he did the one with Rona Mitra where it's like a knockoff of Mad Max or a knockoff of The Road Warrior and Escape from New York.
The Centurion?
No, it's
Doomsday.
Doomsday, yeah. That movie kicks ass.
I need to watch that. The Lair was dog shit. I watched The Lair and was like, oh wow, this is really bad.
Yeah, The Lair sucked. He has done some shit, but yeah, no, that Doomsday is awesome. The Descent is awesome. Dog Soldiers is awesome. I want to see The Reckoning, that movie he put out a few years ago that's about the Black Plague. I think that is supposed to be good.
What about his Game of Thrones, the IMAX experience?
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I went to see that 5 times. I don't know.
Shayne, you have anything you want to promote while you're here?
No.
Any good cover bands you've gone to see in Naples yet?
Yeah, no. I've only gone to one show down here, and it was at a bar, and it was $10. But actually, the bands were pretty good. I was thinking about going to see Foreigner with Lou Gramm at this little sports arena in Naples this weekend, but I don't know if I want to pay $100 to see Foreigner with Lou Gramm in 2026.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And I'm going back to New York in a week and a half anyway, so I'll see a bunch of shows then. Yeah,
then you're going to fucking 4 other states for shows.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be hectic.
All right. If you would like to support us, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/IPSufferPodcast. I dropped the Unsolved Mysteries episode that Katie and I recorded last month. I dropped that this week, and our episode on 4 Batman cartoon episodes. So there's 2 episodes that are almost 2 hours you can listen to where we talk about how badly Unsolved Mysteries cast the Henry Rollins reenactor for their reenactment.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what?
So there was an episode about Joe Cole's murder. When Henry Rollins and him are held up at gunpoint and shit, and they shoot Joe, and they have this guy that's with no tattoos, just wearing a flannel shirt, skinny as fuck, playing Henry Rollins, and I was like, they didn't even try.
Yeah, what the hell's going on here?
No.
Yeah, patreon.com/IPSufferPodcast. You can leave us a rating and review wherever you listen to these, probably. Go check out those sweet, sweet AI generated titles on Spotify for our podcasts that are always unhit. Yeah, this one's gonna be fucking weird. You can follow us on Instagram at IPSufferPodcast. You can follow Kid at Hidden Kitstry and Kittrification of Blood. You can follow Katie at Werewolfface. Join Katie's Patreon at patreon.com/werewolfface. You can listen to my other podcast, AK Movie Club. Shayne, you're welcome. Finally got to talk about a good movie that wasn't Christian.
That's right.
I don't know. I think it might be. There was a lot of allegorical things going on, if you noticed.
I'm gonna find some real dog shit next time for Shayne.
I mean, it's not like I don't watch dog shit already.
Shayne's like, they'd be like, oh, I found this like weird Christian movie that's got 3 ratings on Letterboxd. Oh wait, all 3 of them are Shayne. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. I hope you have a dick for a nose, but why?
Amen.
Yes.
Dick Nose Tuesday.